And good evening on a beautiful Wednesday evening here at the Weedsport, the newest track here on the iRacing service. And you see them right there, cars on the racetrack practicing. My name's Chris Nutt alongside Zach Newton, and our special Weedsport analyst, Wesley Outland, is here tonight as well. It is the Warrior Logistics Nationals, presented by LSR TV, LiveSimRacing.com here at Weedsport. Warrior Logistics, a quickly growing independent contractor providing line haul freight services for FedEx, a Fortune 50 company. At Warrior, our team members are our most valuable asset. We strive to create an environment which ensures our team is an area of strong competitive differentiation. We invest heavily in the latest trucks and technology, and we provide very competitive compensation above the industry average. That is Warrior Logistics. It is a big night tonight here, the Warrior Logistics Nationals. $50 going on to win. Our format for tonight: qualifying, heat races, B mains, and a 100-lap feature. It's again presented by RaceOnTexas.com. So it's going to be a very, very big night here tonight. Zach Newton inside the booth with me as well. Zach, you've been looking forward to this one all week long.
Yeah, man, I pretty much feed on human suffering. I'm like an energy vampire, and turn one is an absolute factory of it here at Weedsport. You're going to see these guys trying to figure that turn out all night long. And as you can see just how sharp turn one is here at Weedsport. It's a full 90 around there, and there's a concrete wall that juts up on the inside. It's going to make a lot of problems for people. We see J.D. Brown there coming around. I believe that's the outside of turn two. There's Chase Hardy, one of the starters last night in that 100 lap. Mimi's making some motion nationals. Great race we saw last night at Lanier Raceplex. And we're going to have a whole lot of fun here tonight. I am very excited to be here. I want to thank our sponsors, of course, Mimi's Makings in Motion, Hans Performance, Mike's Crazy Paints, KRM Digital Marketing, Swaggy Wraps and Graphics, Folds Graphics, DirtFan.com, Envision Custom Graphics, the Dirt Clash Super Street Series Grace Productions, LMP Kitchen and Bath Designs, Scalp Race Wraps, Loud Pedal Productions, and Richard Rocket Setups. We also have sponsors we'll touch on for each heat and our alphabet soup mains. We'll touch on those again when we get to them. But right now we bring in a man with some real-life Weedsport Speedway experience, Wesley Outland. Wes, what can you tell us about this place?
Okay, so if our producer can go back to that still image shot from turns number 1 and 2, I want to show you something. Look at the way the track looks like a D shape, if you will. We'll see that camera angle here in just a moment. Tonight, after we finish up the Weedsport event for the World of Thunder Speedweek, we are then going to have the race at Richmond. Well, gentlemen, this track looks a lot like Richmond. It's a D shape. It's a D shape, except it's on the opposite side of the racetrack where the tri-oval is to the back straight. So you're kind of going into the tri-oval here at Weedsport. Off of turn number 2, then a back stretch is the front straightaway here at Weedsport. Flip-flop that around when we actually run the Outlaw Supers later tonight. But when we see the next camera angles, we're seeing just still static shots right now. A D, if you will. A lot of unique racing. It should be fun and exciting. I will tell y'all, not being somebody that has an iRacing game and races on this myself, but as in the broadcaster level, they hit this perfectly to have an awesome replica of the racetrack in reality.
You said it exactly right, and we got about 45 seconds before we go to commercial break. Zach, you said it reminded you of a couple of tracks that you've seen, Ponderosa and kind of like a Kokomo.
Yeah, it's got a whole bunch of characteristics of a lot of different places. Ponderosa here in Kentucky, a little bit out to the east of where I'm at in the heart of the state, has a little bit of a D shape to it, but it's got a little more banking to it. Turn one's a little more forgiving. The surface is a lot wider. Weedsport is going to demand a much more increased technical proficiency. Kokomo kind of also has some of those, but again, Kokomo also super wide, Chris. I mean, you've been to Kokomo a bunch of times, and that, you could park a bus across the racing surface there. Weedsport, especially that turn 1, you can see as we get that overhead shot finally. I'm sure Cody in the production truck is real happy about that one. You can see just how thin turn 1 and 2 really gets as you drive off in there, and then how fast the front stretch wall comes at you out of turn 4.
All right, we'll be back here with qualifying here at the Warrior Logistics Nationals here on LSR TV. All right, welcome back to Weedsport here in Weedsport, New York. It is the Warrior Logistics Nationals. Qualifying time coming up right now, and we have got cars on the racetrack. There is the number 22 machine of Mason Clark on the racetrack. Mason Clark comes to us out of Clare, Michigan. And we've got James Edens, Kyle Dersham, and Jennifer Hotz already. And there is Hagen Sorensen as well. Got a lot of cars on the racetrack right now. Zach, what are we going to look for qualifying? What kind of speed and times are we looking for here?
Anything in the mid to low 14s is going to be good around here. Half of Weedsport is honestly just going to be trying to see who can actually survive their lap around here. As you see Ryan Underwood get a little crossed up. I believe before he took the green flag there, you see Richard Murtaugh, who is a New York native, so has some real life Weedsport experience as well. What you're looking for here is anything in the mid 14 bracket. I know that in practice earlier I heard Ryan Underwood, Chase Hardy, and Ethan Toder talking about turning laps in the 14.4s and touching 14.3 on a fresh racetrack being a really good lap time.
Checking out the top of the clock, Jerry Flippo now to the top of the charts. Alex Bergeron in that second spot. James Edens third. J.D. Brown in that fourth position. Now Bergeron and Tucker now second, as times are getting a little bit quicker here.
Time starting to pick up just a little bit. Bergeron currently quick time with a 14.55. That is what he has timed in at. Kendall Tucker with a 14.59, his last lap speed. He slowed down just a little bit. You see John Ruggiero Jr. now taking time. A whole bunch of guys on track. We're getting the field squared away here. Hardy, Underwood, Majula still to qualify. Majula is also a New York native.
14.55, the quickest time right now. 14.56, second quick. Jerry Flippo also with a 14.56. James Edens 14.58. J.D. Brown 14.58. Murtaugh with a 14.59. And Cooper Clark, Hans, and Ruggiero running out the top 10 in qualifying at the moment here at Weedsport. There you see Ruggiero there on the racetrack right now. As we've got a great group of cars on hand tonight, as we have all week long. Minute 13 left in qualifying.
Absolutely. You see Blake Majulis there, ninth quick. That seems a little out of character. He's got a little bit more opportunity here as he comes around to complete. There's a little more characteristic time up to third quick out of Majulis. You can see Ryan Underwood down around 16th. Bergeron, Tucker, Majulis, Flippo, Edens, Cannon, Brown, Murtaugh, Cooper, and Clark, your top 10.
Here we see the number 8 machine on the racetrack, Daniel Passmore on the front straightaway. Looking into turn number 1 and 2, that weird shape turn 1 and 2. I'm still getting used to that shaping of that turn there. That is the, you've been itching to see people get all crossed up on that thing, and there goes Dustin.
Oh yeah, Passmore gets a little crossed up there. You see Matt Logan now putting in his time this evening. Yeah, turn 1 here, you can really see just how sharp that corner is in a big block modified, which is usually what they run here. And we'll go to Wesley Outland and talk about those coming to iRacing and what it's like to watch those run and how they compare to these late models in just a second. That turns a little easier to negotiate because the car's a little smaller. Wes, you've seen big blocks run here at Weedsport, have you not?
Yes.
And take us through some of the differences in those cars and these super late models as we get ready to grid heat number 1.
Really ain't much. I mean, pretty much it's all horsepower. You got a horsepower 900 plus in a super late model. The same for about a big block modified. It's all the difference of an open car to a fendered car. But if you really, really want to see some good racing, if they can get a good run off of turn number 3, they can get some speed down the straightaway. We're going to see that here with these late models in Heat 1 in a moment.
Absolutely. Thank you, Wes, for that. Chris, we head to our Warrior Logistics Heat Race number 1 for the Warrior Logistics 100, sponsored by Grace Productions. On the pole, Alex Bergeron out of Drummondville, Quebec, Canada, to his outside the Swindell Speed Labs entry number 52 from Petaluma, California. That is James Edens.
Row 2 on the inside, that's going to see Nick Cooper in the 35 machine out of Waterloo, New York. Firehouse Subs Dig Racing Shock sponsor machine outside him, number 28 of Trevor Fitz out of Bakersfield, California, and a D1RT and DRI sponsored car.
Row number 3 is Baby Barry Hagen Sorensen in the 45 entry. Coming to you from Harlan, Iowa, the Folds Graphics, Mimi's Makings in Motion Sorensen equipment entry. To his outside is the 110 machine of Chase Winkles out of Falkville, Alabama for $1 Million Motorsports.
Row number 4 on the inside, the number 19, that'll be Donnie Batista out of Gentry, Arkansas, that Native Pride Racing machine. Outside of him, Brett Rouse and that number 17 R machine out of Newfane, New York. The NOS Energy, Bilstein Shock Absorbers, Mike M Designs, Wrights Motorsports Photography, and Hunt the Front sponsored car. Rounding out the field, the 99, that'll be Chase Hardy. Chase Hardy, the 99, out of Stevens City, Virginia. And then Newton Graphics, Newton Cattle Farms, Autoglass Experts machine. I wonder who that Newton guy is.
Never met him. Probably a turd. Chase Hardy starting shotgun on the field in this one. He's got a long way to go. Chris, do we know how many cars will transfer out of each heat race and how many heats we're going to have this evening?
I did not get the memo on that. I believe we're going to be taking either 3 or 4.
All right, we will go to race control, see if we can get that. And we will relay that to you as soon as we have it. So we get ready to go green in this one. You're about to see the first lap.
You beat me to sending the message.
Here for World of Thunder. And Alex Bergeron, James Eden's going to have a lot of responsibility. We'll see how this field holds together as we are green at Weedsport.
Underway here for the first heat race of the night, brought to you by Grace Productions as they roll through turn number 1 and 2. Bergeron out front. Cooper, we already got some issues there in turn number 1 and 2. It is Donnie Batiste. Caution is out, and turn 1's already got somebody.
Yeah, I hate to tell you, you know, it's a real burden to be right all the time, Chris. Donnie Batiste, the first victim of turn 1 here this evening, and I predict there will be several more. 4 heats, 3 will transfer out of each heat, and this is going to get much harder for Mr. Batiste as he's going to go to the tail of the longest line. You see the action on back here. Brett Rolls dives to the inside. They get all crossed up in front of Chase Hardy. Rolls is involved too, but Batiste is the one sitting at the top of turn 1.
I'm going to restack him and re-rack him here and get set to go with a restart here in heat race number 1. Hopefully we can get the rest of this way green to checker. As I said, heat 1, turn 1 and 2, it's going to reach out and bite somebody. You know, a lot of these guys have probably got a lot of practice laps on this racetrack, you know, as soon as it came out. But you got to wonder if there's some people that, you know, haven't gotten any laps on this yet.
Well, this track was a little more expensive than some of the other ones have been as they are added, since you have to purchase each track individually as they come to the service. And this one was a little more expensive, so a lot of drivers had to pick this one up. And if you for some reason had to pick this one up last minute, you're at a huge disadvantage, because again, I cannot stress this enough, this place is not easy to get around in one of these big super late models.
Definitely not. It's not very wide. I mean, I take it turns 1 and 2, not very wide at all. And then you get that all that horsepower down the back straightaway, that D-shaped back straightaway. There's not a lot of room for error.
Yeah, it's a lot of it demands a lot of precision. This track does.
All right, going to take another lap around with the pace truck here. Once again, Heat Race 1 brought to you by Grace Productions. Big thank you once again going out to Warrior Logistics for bringing you tonight's Warrior Logistics Nationals. $50 to win tonight as part of Speedweek's action here on LSR TV. Your home for live sim racing. Cody Wooten in the production booth. My name's Chris Nutt alongside Zach Newton and our Weedsport analyst, our specialist, Wesley Atland, on hand tonight as well. Wesley, we're all jealous of you. The only person with some actual, experience here at Weedsport. We're all jealous of you, Wes.
If you ever get a chance to come to this track, I encourage you, please. We're coming to green.
Back underway here in heat race number 1. Single file restart as we move through turn 1. It's Bergeron, Edens, and Cooper. Now your top 2-3 down the back straightaway. Only 3 transfer out of these heat races tonight. We're going to find out who they are here. And they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Bergeron leads lap 1.
Nick Cooper's got that piece of real estate. Trevor Fitz wants it real bad. Don't count Hagen Sorensen just yet either. This track, again, the margin for error is slim. A lot of these guys not super used to this racing service yet. You can see them kind of trying to avoid the shark that is those concrete barricades on the inside of the racetrack. A lot of times you'll see guys right down around the bottom of a place. They may not be comfortable close to that barrier here just yet. Out front, though, it's all Alex Bergeron so far. He opens up a nearly 4/10 of the second lead over James Edens in second.
He's still sitting back there in that second spot. They slide up, down that back straightaway they go. We're on board with James Edens as he looks ahead, and Alex Bergeron catches up quickly into turn number 3 and 4. Out of turn 4, Bergeron still leads down the front straightaway, working with 5 laps to go here into this one. Our first heat race of the night out of 4. Top 3 transfer. Right now, everybody running single file right now.
Yeah, everybody on their best behavior. You may see some of that tonight as these guys start to kind of adjust to this racetrack again. It is new to a lot of these guys. There you see James Eden starting to dive into turn one just a little bit deeper than Bergeron, trying to make up some ground. Bergeron's still about 0.3 of a second out in front. He's looking very smooth, very comfortable around here. He's probably got a handful of practice laps over these guys. One of the advantages of iRacing being a full-time career, Chris.
Absolutely, these full-time drivers, you can make a lot of money running this iRacing stuff. As Blake Majulis is pretty much proven. That's why we call him the money man. And Axel Bergeron, $15,000 richer. That's why we call him big bucks. These guys know how to make the money.
Absolutely. Bergeron, a two-time NOS Energy Drink World of Outlaws iRacing champion, now making the move into late models as well, and has proven very competitive throughout these speed weeks. Whenever he can, he's got a little bit of the Ricky Bobby-itis, though. If he hasn't been first, it seems like he's been way in the back, but he's definitely got the ability to win races, and as of now, he's going to sit on the pole for tonight's 100-lapper.
Good place to be. Alex Bergeron going to be your pole setter tonight after finishing first in heat race number 1, brought to you by Grace Productions. Take a look at your finishing order here in heat race number 1. Never mind. Alex Bergeron wins heat race number 1. We'll take a look at the lineup for heat race number 2, brought to you by the Dirt Clash Super Street Series. Here on the pole, let's see Kendall Tucker in the 00 out of Manhery, North Carolina, the Swindell Speed Labs, South Bay Partners, HMS Motorsport, RE Suspension, ML Performance sponsored 00. Outside of him is Blake Cannon in the 44 out of Evans, Georgia, the Bell Helmets K1 Race Gear Augusta Aquatics Down Under Graphics number 44.
Row number 2 is the 22 entry of Mason Clark to his outside the 157 machine of Broadhead, Kentucky's Drew Hopkins, the Rockcastle Rocket, driving for Drew Hopkins Racing and Big Horn Taxidermy.
Row number 3 on the inside is the number 331 machine. That'll be Dustin Hall out of Columbia, Missouri. In the Slick Motorsports, H&M Automotive, Doug Perry Towing Dominator Designs on IRAP sponsored 331, Outside him, Ethan Toder in the number 23 machine out of DeMossville, Kentucky. The Envision Custom Design, Toder Family Racing, Bilstein Racing Shocks, Longhorn Chassis, Textron Off-Road number 23.
Row number 4 lines up like this. It's Team VLR's Evan C. in the 33 from Chesney, South Carolina. iRacing, iFlag, Dirty Grass, Soul, VLR, Next Level Design, Captain Morgan, C High Performance, and TAC 3 Defense entry. Outside of him is the 15 of Kevin Hans, and he will line up 8th. Shotgun on the field, California's Bo Krebs in the 68 machine out of Eureka, California, TNT Auto Body, Advanced Roofing Techniques, Outlaw Boss, School of Dirt, and Krebs Design entry, Chris. And we got to take 3 more guys to the feature, and there's about 6 guys in this race who could get there.
It's going to be a wild heat race for sure. We're going to send it to our special analyst, Wesley Outland. Your predictions here in heat race number 2.
A lot of talent in this heat race. We'll definitely see what takes place. 10 laps can go by fast here at Weedsport. We're only taking 3 here in heat 2.
All right, underway here in heat race number 2, brought to you by the Dirt Clash Super Street Series. Kendall Tucker's going to take the lead out of turns number 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway they go. Blake Cannon tried to look underneath there for a split second. Could not make the move inside. Kendall Tucker going to lead lap 1. We got one up door in the wall. Looks like Mason Clark up there in 3 and 4. He is slow to get started. We're going to stay green. Nope, we're going to go yellow. Caution.
The yellow flag. So there is the yellow for Mason Clark. We'll go to the replay, see what left him stalled over there in turns 3 and 4. Looked like a clean start. Everybody got through turn 1 and 2 okay. And then Clark, it looks like maybe Dustin Hall for in the 331 entry. There's some contact there, and Clark goes off hard impacts with the turn 3 and 4 wall there. And Clark will go to the tail of the longest line.
All right, going to restack them here in this heat race number 1. Looks like I got 1 lap in the book, so we're going to get them lined up and get ready to go. Top 3 transfer to tonight's main event out of these 4 heat races. The Warrior Logistics Nationals here on LSR TV, part of the Mimi's Makings in Motion Speed Week event all week long. Got tomorrow night and Friday night left to go. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to take part tomorrow night. Kind of upset about that, but we'll be back Friday for the finale. It's going to be some great racing the rest of the week.
Absolutely, and we've seen nothing but great racing so far this week. Qualifying night at Lanier was a lot of fun. Had a great time at Knoxville, and then last night for $1,000 to win back at Lanier, Blake Majulis led all 100 laps, was virtually untouchable. Evan C. got close a couple times coming home second, Ryan Underwood finishing third in that one. But we saw some pretty good racing last night at Lanier, and I'm looking forward to the rest of tonight's program here in the Warrior Logistics 100 at Weedsport Speedway, Weedsport, New York. Once again, I'm Zach Newton, Chris Nunn with me in the booth, and Wesley Outland working the analyst position, giving us some real life information about Weedsport Speedway. He's been there, whereas Chris and I have not. So this is our first visit, real or otherwise. Chris, what do you think so far?
It's definitely a unique racetrack. It's going to be conducive to some good racing, I think, once it widens out just a tad. Still a bit slimy. It's pretty tacky out there at the moment. Volusia tomorrow night, and their track at Charlotte finishing us off on Friday for the finale as we are back underway here. And heat race number 2 brought to you by the Dirt Clash Super Street Series. Look how deep Blake Cannon drove it into turn number 1, Zach. He about drove it right into Kendall Tucker.
Yeah, Blake Cannon was going to hit Kendall Tucker or concrete, one or the other. He's definitely looking fearless out there. Oh, he gets into the wall in 3 and 4. He's going to lose second and third and fourth now, and he may have some suspension damage, Chris.
Yeah, we're going to find out here just exactly how bad that car is messed up, as he took a heck of a ride there. You saw in the in-car, he got airborne. He looks like he's all right now, but he's not gaining any ground on Mason Clark there.
Yeah, he's now stuck back there in 7th position all the way back. The battle that I'm interested in is that battle for the first transfer or the last transfer spot. If Ethan Toder can reel in Evan C., you're looking at a world championship caliber driver, one of the best drivers in all of iRacing. And Toder, a real life crate late model driver and rookie license holder here on iRacing. So he's new to the service, but not new to the world of racing. We'll see if he can reel in Evan C. as we come to the cross flag, Chris.
Out of turn number 1 and 2 down that dog leg back straightaway. Tucker Hopkins and Evan C. The top 3 down the back straightaway. We're coming down to be 3 to go this time by. Let's get top 3 transfer. Ethan Toder back there, that 4th spot as Evan C. tries to throw a slider on Drew Hopkins. Could not quite make it stick. They'll stay the same down the back straightaway.
But Chris, your prediction is coming true. This track definitely starting to get more racy as we get into heat race number 2 here. You can see Evan C. trying to find some room around Drew Hopkins. Hopkins is a guy who's very comfortable on a bottom dominant racetrack, which is kind of how Weedsport's shaping up right now. But he's got an absolute trunk full of Evan C. right now. Like he just picked him up on a click list order, and C is all over him looking for second.
Out of turn number 1 and 2 they go. He's still trying to get underneath Hopkins, but there you see the gap between first and second. Tucker absolutely running away with this one. 1.4 seconds as he roll out of turn number 4. Kendall Tucker will win heat race 2, brought to you by the Dirt Clash Super Street Series. Hopkins comes home second. Evan C. in that 3rd and final transfer spot. Looks like Ethan Tedder is going to be starting up front in one of our last chance qualifiers coming up here in just a little bit. So that's heat race number 2. In the words of Brett Wheeler, done and dusted.
Done and dusted. We go to heat race 3. We bring in Wesley Outland. Wesley, in your experience, is Chris's prediction for how this track's going to behave going to hold? Does it widen out? I mean, you can see turn 1 there from this overhead shot. Thin as a rail.
If you notice, Zach, they're literally working from the bottom up to the top. So what Chris is saying is exactly correct. We can literally see the entire racetrack be used as you're seeing that racing groove, if you will, where it's starting to slick off and we're moving up to the wall. So he's exactly right on that.
Awesome. Thank you, Wesley. Always your analysis very appreciated. As we get ready for heat race number 3, we go to your Walls Beard Company starting lineup here. And on the pole, it is Mr. Moneybags, $1,000 heavier than they were last night. The 127 machine out of Asheville, New York, of Blake Majulis. Outside of him is the 14 entry. That's Bakersfield, California, Slick Sim Sports driver J.D. Brown.
Row 2 on the inside, it's Mama, the Diva Dirt, Jennifer Hans out of Knob Noster, Missouri, and the MDM Motorsports Haas Performance Mimi's Making His Emotion Speed Incorporated, sponsored number 11. Outside of her, it's going to be Brandon Freeberg in that number 171 machine out of Metamora, Illinois. The Freeberg Racing Components, Dyer's Top Rod, sponsored 171.
Dallas, Georgia driver Tanner Folds in the 15X will start in 5th for BDR. The Folds Graphics, World of Thunder Sorensen Equipment, Family Pawn, Russell Brown Race Cars entry. To his outside is Eric Scalf in the World of Thunder House Car this evening, the 17M out of Minford, Ohio.
Row 4 on the inside, we're going to see the number 93 machine. That will be Kyle Dersham out of Ann, Ohio. In the Nice Race Design, Reflex Sim Racing, Kings of Sling, Wild Horse Broadcasting, World of Thunder, Mimi's Making Emotions, DirtFan.com, Ultimate Dirt TV sponsored machine. Anthony Bate in the number 26 machine will roll off in that number 8 position.
So just 2 heat races to go. Again, top 3 will transfer. We go 10 laps the distance. Field belongs to Blake Majulis as the pace truck gets ready to make the hard right turn off of the racing surface to the outside pit area, and we are green, Chris.
Heat race 3 underway, brought to you by Swaggy Wraps and Graphics. As we are back underway here, Hans now in that 3rd and final transfer spot. She'll tiptoe out of 2 down the back straightaway, but she has got J.D. Brown and Blake Majulis in front of her. You know Blake's got a whole lot. We got some. Everybody saved it there coming out of 3 and 4. We about wrecked about 6 times.
Yeah, everybody holds on, keeps it moving forward. You can see the 11 machine of Hans now dealing with the 171 of Freeberg. Just behind them is the 15X of Tanner Folds. Hans currently holding on to that final transfer spot. That's going to let Majulis and J.D. Brown sort of drive off into the New York night here upstate, Chris.
Majulis, Brown, Hans, 1, 2, and 3. Freebird sitting in at 3rd or the 1 spot out, looking in down the front straightaway. Looking out front here, Jennifer Hans. You see her sawing at the wheel.
Words are hard, aren't they, Chris?
I'm going to word today. I promise. I'm going to do some wording today.
We hope so at some point. Meanwhile, though, heat race 3 rolls on. 7 to go in this one. Blake Majulis out front. Jennifer Hahn still holding down that 3rd spot. The field starts to spread out just a little bit, and you can see the racing line now moving up the racetrack, almost starting to form the cushion through 3 and 4. Still right down on the bottom there is Blake Majulis through 1 and 2. J.D. Brown starting to explore up the racetrack just a little bit.
Starting some exploring around as they come out of turn number 3 and 4 down that front straightaway. Swag Esports, E-Wraps and Graphics bringing you this event. Super late models coming up. The Swag E-Wraps and Graphics series coming up. Richmond, that's coming up next on LSR TV. Wesley Outland, you're going to be part of that one. Hey, you're going to be excited for that one, aren't you, Wes?
It should be fun. As I said, look at the look from the blimp view here. The way this track is designed, flip-flop Richmond from Weedsport, and you have that type of a racing atmosphere, and obviously the track is a little bit bigger. That's coming up at 10 p.m. Eastern, roughly, the Swag Outlaw Super Late Model Series. But man, Blake Majulis, guys, he has pocketed some big money here in the last 36 hours, continuing to do it again in the Warrior Logistics 100 for heat number 3. But J.D. Brown, gentlemen, has been really strong in the end of the season for the World of Thunder as well.
Absolutely. Final lap here in Swaggy E-Wraps and Graphics heat race number 3. It's been all Blake Majulis as he owns heat race number 3. He'll take the win. J.D. Brown's going to come home in that 2nd spot. Jennifer Hans getting that 3rd and final transfer spot. She puts herself into the show. And Warrior Logistics Nationals night. Want to send out a big thank you to Scott Allender from Warrior Logistics. He is one of the guys that will make it all happen. So a big special shout out to Scott Allender, the head honchos there at Warrior Logistics. Folds Graphics heat race number 4. Zach, coming up.
Yes, absolutely. Final heat race of the evening. We'll get into our last chance qualifiers here in just a moment, though. Here is your lineup for it. On the pole, you see the Wallsbeard Company starting lineup is the 13 of Jerry Flippo. Comes to you out of Bakersfield, California, A1 Spring and TFR entry. And then outside of him is New York native Richard Murtaugh Jr. in the 33.
Row 2 on the inside, it's going to be John Ruggiero Jr. and the number 44 out of Lincolnton, North Carolina. Outside him, the number 46, a lawnmower man, the weed eater. It's Ryan Underwood out of Elizabeth City, North Carolina. The Team VLR, Hunt the Front, TAC 3, Dirty Grass Soul, Newton Cattle Farms, Wise Power Equipment, Auto Glass Experts, Toter Family Racing, Envision Custom Graphics, Barrett Race Cars, Mullet Racing Engines, number 46.
Row number 3 is the little head knocker. It's Trent Ivey, and we've got some fun stories out of him, out of Union, South Carolina, the Fox Shocks entry. Outside of him in the 269, it's Fallon, Nevada's $1 Million Motorsports entry, James Grace, and the Mimi's Making Some Motion, Speedy Setup and Tire Prep, Apex subsidiaries, Grace Productions, number 269.
Row 4 on the inside, it's Matthew Logan and the number 41 machine out of Concord, North Carolina. Outside of him, Daniel Passmore in the 8 out of McKinney, Texas, and that $1 Million Motorsports, number 8. You mentioned some funny stories from Mr. Ivy from last night. He was double dutying last night, real life racing, and he brought the iRacing with him to the track.
Yeah, had one of the stacker haulers with the RV up front, and he had his iRacing rig set up in the RV. He'd parked the late model after he put in second, or after he put in quick time and finished second in the race, and his time would allow, he'd hop into the motorhome and run the Mimi's Makings in Motion Nationals from Lanier last night.
Cannot beat the double dip in there. He was dedicated to the cause. He can concentrate now on this one here tonight at Weedsport. Once again, Volusia tomorrow night, and their track at Charlotte on Friday to cap off Mimi's Makings in Motion Speed Week here on LSR TV, your home for live sim racing. A lot of racing on tap tonight. Following this one, it is at the Swag Esports Series coming up after this one from Richmond. Going for the dirt to the asphalt. We're underway here in heat race number 4 by by Folds Graphics. Jerry Flippo takes the lead out of turn 1 and 2 down that back straightaway. Smartall and Underwood running 1, 2, and 3 with Ruggiero in that 3rd or 4th spot. Here comes Ivy now to the inside.
Absolutely. You see the outside really starting to come in this one. Murtaugh and Ryan Underwood kind of running a higher line there through 3 and 4. They're 3 wide through 1 and 2, just about. James Grace thinks better of it, pulls back up behind Trent Ivy in the 88. Out in front, though, Jerry Flippo, a newcomer to the World of Thunder. I believe Speedweek, one of the big splashes he's made, and he has really shown some great leaps forward. He may be a competitive new addition to the World of Thunder, Chris.
Absolutely. He leads heat race number 4 out of turn number 2 down there, 4 down the back straightaway, or front straightaway, excuse me. Front, back. I promise I'm wording tonight, and I'm not even drinking. I promise. Only guy who has Pepsi.
Yeah, Chris and I got taken to the big red trailer last night after the 100-lap A main, and we're told to sober it up during the broadcast. Out in front, though, it's still Jerry Flippo, Richard Murtaugh in 2nd, Ryan Underwood in 3rd. We have a good time here, folks, and it's seeing great racing here at Weedsport. Underwood going to look to the outside of Murtaugh. It's the first time we've seen a pass around the lip. Murtaugh slides up the racetrack and takes the line away, and you better believe Underwood's probably not happy about that.
Absolutely not. We're going to see exactly how Ryan can gather himself up here, and it looks like that. A lot of patience from the youngster. We don't usually use the words patience and Ryan Underwood in the same sentence, do we?
We sure don't, Chris. But he showed a pretty fair amount of control there. He's staying comfortably in that transfer spot. Holds off Ruggiero Jr. in the 44 dirt on dirt machine out of the race or out of the feature right now. Currently going to have to work his way into a B main.
Down the front straight over they go. Flippo, Murtaugh, Underwood. Still 1, 2, and 3. Ruggiero back there in the 4th spot, or 1 spot out looking in with the rest of the field. There you see them. They're rushing the high side of the race right now. Track's starting to slick off. You can see that shininess starting to come in as it's starting to get a little wider. Been a little single file here through the heat races, but I believe come feature time, we got 100 laps of it. It's going to get crazy.
Yeah, with 100 laps the distance tonight, and after a couple of consolation races to get the rest of the field set, you're going to see this racetrack really slick off and get complicated. Guys are going to be all over it, trying to find last little bits of moisture. Jerry Flippo out in front by now a little bit under a second as he comes to the checkered flag. He's going to win this heat comfortably. Murtaugh going to come home in 2nd, and then Ryan Underwood will get that 3rd transfer spot back, and we'll have to see if there are any receipts paid. Oh, there you see Underwood parking it right on Murtaugh's nose.
That's not good.
So we will go to a C main here in this one. And that C main is brought to you by LMP Kitchen and Bath Designs. We also want to thank Scalf Race Wraps, who are our D main sponsor when our D mains are necessary. But not one here tonight. We go straight to a C main. And we will get the transfer info into this one for you.
I went ahead and sent a message into race control as we are going. Looks like C main. Top 4 go to the B main, and then out of the B main, 8 go to the feature. Row 1, the Waltz Beer Company starting lineup grid. James Grace, your pole sitter. Outside of him, we'll see Chase Hardy in the 99.
Row number 2 is Mason Clark in the 22 and Anthony Bate in the 26.
Row 3 on the inside, Matthew Logan in the 41 machine. Outside of him, Brett Rolls in the number 017.
Row number 4, starting 7th, it's the 68 of California's Bo Krebs. Outside of him, the 17 of Eric Scalf in the World of Thunder house car.
In row 5 on the inside, Daniel Passmore in the number 8 machine. Outside of him, it is Donnie Batiste in the number 19.
Row number 6, shotgun on the field, the 331 machine of Slick Sim Sports driver Dustin Hall. Got a long way to go. We're going to have to see the storylines to watch here. Chase Hardy, who got into the race last night with a provisional, courtesy of Stephen McMillian, for a hard-fought battle in a B main that was cut short by technical difficulties. You see him blinking just a little bit there. We hope that's not a sign of more of those difficulties for Chase. Starting on the pole this one, Chase calls himself the king of B mains, Chris, so we'll have to see how he does in a C.
Hopefully, he'll be able to make his way up into the B main. We'll find out whether or not he's the king or not, as we'll find out here as the pace truck still rolls on to the racetrack here. Top 4 go from the C to the B, as we still got some that car in the infield there for a split second. Looks like Dustin Hall is coming back out onto the racetrack right now. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars on the racetrack.
Top 4 again will transfer. The pace truck going to make the hard right turn over the hill and off to the outside pit area. There you see the pace truck goes, and we are green in this one, Chris. Good start for the front row.
And out of turn number 1 and 2 they go down the back straight. A couple cars into the wall there. Looks like that was Bo Krebs or was Rolls, one of the two, as they slap the wall coming out of 1 and 2. Mason Clark, we got one around. It's Matthew Logan. Caution is out for the 41 of Matthew Logan. Now, you notice that 41, that does look like a Brad Neat looking car, doesn't it?
It is very reminiscent of Brad Neat, although I don't ever think Brad Neat had a white race car. I'm pretty
No, it's
sure
just the numbers, the number-wise, the text, the font.
Yeah, it was all, and the graphic style. Brad always drove very clean cars, you know, a nice pinstripe kind of design there on that Matt Logan number 41, but it is very reminiscent of a Brad Neat vehicle. You see Bo Krebs and Matt Logan bringing out that first caution. Bo Krebs gets to the infield. Not real sure how he got there, but he got there.
Bo Krebs made a nice comment in the chat earlier today. I don't know if you saw it or not. His exact words were, "There ain't no way I'm going to be up front towards the front tonight."
Well, you have to learn to live with what you are, Chris. That's important advice, and you can see he's embodying exactly what he said. He didn't think he'd be at the front, and he's currently not. You can see some damage there. I think Chase Hardy got into the front stretch wall off the start. He's Bobby pierced the quarter panel up just a little bit, but no harm, no foul in that. His spoiler looks to be still intact. You're going to see a lot of these guys probably showing some wear and tear by the end of this one.
All right, it's a lot, not very much room for racing action, a lot of room to be desired here, as James Grace is your leader at the moment. Hardy in that second, still blinking in and out, man. Hopefully those issues don't come to play again tonight.
Yeah, you hate to see that, and it's one of the unfortunate parts of the whole iRacing, the internet e-sports thing, is that when these guys, especially some of these guys that live in more rural areas, you see Hardy blinking in and out once again. If your internet is spotty, or there's any number of atmospheric factors that can cause problems, if you lose that connection, that can hurt you real bad. Like you said, Chase got a provisional last night because the race control felt like he would have been in the A main had that not happened. They gave him a second chance. Unfortunately, more of the same in the features. We are back underway.
It didn't have anything to do with you beating on the door of race control demanding a provisional, right?
Well, it probably helps to have a guy go to ground for you. And I wouldn't say that I beat on the door, but I shook it pretty good.
All in good fun, nonetheless. Actually, he was going to get a provisional either way because of his issues there in that C main. As we turn out 1 and 2, Grace, Hardy, Clark, and Bates right now in the top 4. That's who's going to transfer. Rolls right behind Bates, trying to get that spot away as they roll out of turn 3 and 4.
Chase Hardy comfortably holding down second, but starting to lose a little ground to James Grace out in front. Mason Clark giving Hardy all he wants. Clark running a line more around the middle of the racetrack. Hardy ripping the lip up around the top, trying to find some traction on the cushion. There's your top 3. They're starting to check out. However, 4th is very much up for debate, as Brett Rolls has caught Anthony Bate in the 26, and Eric Scalf is right there with him.
And they come out of turn number 1 and 2, down the dog leg, back straightaway. Grace, Hardy, Clark, Bates, and Rolls. Rolls trying to go to the high side now, as Eric Scalf trying to throw his nose into the mix as well, down the front straightaway. 5 to go here in this C main. Top 4 go to the B, as Brett Rolls now puts Anthony Bates on the trailer for the moment.
Rolls came off the lip of turn 4 past Anthony Bate like he was tied to a stump, Chris. He shot off of turn 4. You see a great run there off of turn 4 once again. Rolls has kind of figured something out in the back half of this racetrack. If he can hold it together right now, he's going to go to the B main for a chance to get into the show. But we got a car climbing the wall in turn 1 and 2. I believe we may see a yellow flag, still green at the moment.
Still staying green up. Caution is out. Bo Krebs facing the opposite direction here on the racetrack. Take a look at your swag, E-Raps and Graphics, Sim Division, Instant Replay. So we were focused on the 68 of Bo Krebs. He was running back there all by his lonesome.
Yeah, the GRT machine's not really suited for the racetrack here at Weedsport, unfortunately, it does seem. So Krebs will go to the tail of the longest line. He tried to back down the track and get off the racing surface, but was unable to hit that concrete barrier, and that may have caused more problems, but he has parked it. And James Gray's still your leader, but that's going to bunch the field back up with just 3 laps to go.
All right, Wesley Outland, this C main. You can notice that track's starting to widen out. We're starting to get a little bit of some battling going on here.
A good job for the $1 Million Motorsports driver of James Grace, doing what he needs to do, even though the little flashing internet issues continue for Hardy. He's hanging back, doing what he needs to do to finish in those spots necessary to transfer to the B main. And again, like Zachary iterated on, turns 1 and 2, big trouble spots. We're going to see that throughout the A main coming up here for 100 laps later tonight as well.
All right, C main action being brought to you by LMP Kitchens and Bath Designs. 3 to go, 4 transfer. Will it be Rolls going in? Will Bates get in as well? Matthew Logan's right back there he's right there within range as well.
Matthew Logan has had some tough luck so far during Speedweek, but we're going to see if he can get up there and get into the show, or at least the B main. He's still got to earn his way into the show, and that's going to be hard luck for these guys who are going to tag the end of that B main. But out front, James Grace, your leader, looking very strong in that 269 machine. We'll have to see if he can hold off Chase Hardy as we get back underway.
Green's back out. James Grace takes the lead down that front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. As Chase Hardy blinks back in after number 1. He's there, then he's not. Then he's there, then he's not. But he's right there in that second spot. Clark and Rolls run 3rd and 4th as the white flag is going to fly. This time by, look out. It's the 26 machine of, sorry, excuse me. We got all kinds of issues back here.
Yeah, Dustin Hall loose, sitting over there at the bottom of turn 1 and 2. Out in front, though, James Grace going to lead every lap. He's going to the B main. Chase Hardy goes with him. Clark and Brett Rolls, your top 4. Matt Logan, 1 spot out of the show. Hard luck for him in this one. We'll have to see if these 4 drivers can make any waves in the B main as we get ready to line that up on the straightaway, moving right through tonight's racing program, Chris.
All right, top 8 going to tonight's main event. Top 8 go to the feature out of this B main, brought to you in part by KRM Digital Marketing. As the grid is taking shape, the Waltz Beard Company starting lineup. Trevor Fitz, your pole sitter in the 28. Outside of him, Ethan Toder will be on the outside front row in the 23.
Row number 2 is the 171 of Brandon Freeberg. Outside of him, the 44 of the Dirt on Dirt entry. That is John Ruggiero Jr.
Row number 3 on the inside, Hagen Sorensen. And the number 45 machine outside of him, it's going to be Blake Cannon starting 6th and 44.
Starting 7th is Tanner Folds. He's in that 15X machine, the white car there on the inside of row 4. Outside of him, it's the little head knocker of Trent Ivey in the 88.
Row number 5 on the inside, Chase Winkles in the 110. Outside of him, starting 10th, we'll see Kevin Hotz.
Row number 6 is the 93 of Kyle Dersham. Outside of him is the 269 entry of James Grace.
Row number 7, we'll see Chase Hardy. Outside of him, Mason Clark in 22.
And then row number 8, shotgun on the field, your 4th B main or 4th C main finisher. It is Brett Rouse with the longest way to go to a transfer spot. We'll have to see what he can do from the back in this one as we get ready to go green, Chris.
Top 8 transfer. We're going to go to our analyst, Wesley Outland. You check out the field. You see the field. Who's going in, who's not going in?
Well, Rogerio's got always a strong car, so I must say I think he'll transfer in. Toder, I will say, is going to go in. Obviously, Fitz being at the top of P1 could be the man to transfer too, but I think this is going to be an interesting race. I mean, this is it, guys. This is your last chance to make it in at Weedsport for those starting spots, so this should be exciting to see here.
All right, once again, B-Main brought to you.
Oh, and Trent Ivy. I forgot about him. Trent Ivy.
Hopefully his internet stays up long enough for him to stay in here. He's been blinking in and out. KRM Digital Marketing bring you this B-Main event. Pace truck takes that hard right turn off the racetrack. Green is out. Good start by Fitz down the front straightaway. Got a good advantage over Toter as they work through turns 1 and 2. Freeberg into that third spot. Ruggiero now takes that away from him. Out of 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Side by side back there for the third spot. Cars everywhere on the back straightaway. Rolls goes around, as does Hans. Caution's going to fly.
They collect Chase Hardy, but he managed to drive through it. Chris, something we haven't touched on. This is the first ever World of Thunder race here at Weedsport. You're talking about a guy etching his name in World of Thunder history as the first ever winner here. We haven't really mentioned the kind of historical significance of this event, but also what we just saw here is just how deadly turn 1's going to be when we put 24 cars on the racetrack for an A main. You know, here we only have, I think, 16 or 17 cars starting this race. And, I mean, you see what happened there. I expect turn 1 to claim a whole bunch of victims in that 100-lap Warrior Logistics feature event this evening.
Oh, absolutely. We have had, we took 3 cars out of 4 heats, so that's for a 12, then 8 to the feature, 20 cars set to go in this one.
Yeah, 20 cars is going to be a whole lot of race vehicle vying for a very small amount of real estate over there in turn 1. So we're going to see what happens. Here you see the 15 of, I believe that is Kevin Hans. He gets it moving once again. He will go to the tail of the longest line along with Brett Rolls involved in that caution. You see Mason Clark and Chase Hardy came out of the C main. They're back there. Rolls started back there. So Hans really the only new addition to the tail end of the field. But out in front right now, Trevor Fitz in the catbird seat. But Ethan Toter, I have a feeling, is going to be all over him for the entire duration of this race.
We're going to find out exactly what's going to happen here. Zach Newton in the booth with me. My name is Chris Nunn, special analyst tonight. Wesley Outland, the only person here in the booth that has been at Weedsport. I hope to change that here at some point in time. That's we got to get there.
Yeah, man, this is a really cool race facility. Getting up there and taking in some of the Super Dirt Series the big block modifieds would be a lot of fun. Just got to find time to go to upstate New York, man.
And the scenery's nice too, guys. Remember, this is not New York City. This is, upstate New York, like you said, Zach, and the mountainside and the drive to get to the racetrack is also unique also. It's beautiful.
All right. Speaking of Kentucky, Zach, you're going to see some real life racing this weekend. Looks like.
Absolutely, gonna take advantage of my buddy Wesley Outland's kindness. He's gonna put me on the pass list for the Paul Woodridge Memorial at Richmond. So I'm gonna make about the 2.5-hour trek from Elizabethtown, where I live, out there to Eastern Kentucky. I'm gonna hold my nose as I pass the college campus, and then we're gonna head right on down to the racetrack. I get to meet Wes for the first time. I'm pretty excited about that. Of course, I feel like I've known Chris in some capacity since I was a little kid, but I get to meet Wes this weekend, so that'll be cool. Probably may make an appearance. Wes, who's covering the broadcasting? What's that streaming on? Is it Speed 51?
Yes, it'll be on Speed51.tv. I don't think Charles would mind if we plug that because we've done stuff with them before. Speed51.tv will have coverage of the
Charles said he's fired.
The 33rd running of the Paul Woodridge Butterball Memorial. And yes, Zach, I'm going to let you put on the cams, the headsets, and probably call a heat race or two or a B-main with me because you won't be there Friday. You'll be there Saturday. So looking forward to it.
But Wes, I was talking about this with Ethan Toter, is a Kentucky driver and knows Richmond Raceway well. And he said the fact that they're paying $1,000 to win the heats is going to turn that into bedlam.
Oh, yeah, that's up the ante. I think right now we're at 40-plus super late models. So, and by the way, too, you're coming Saturday, and again, tomorrow I make the trip to Kentucky. Tomorrow night we'll do Volusia for the World of Thunder Speedweek, both in Kentucky together.
Well, I can't wait for that as we are back underway. 11 to go in this heat race. You see Trevor Fitz out in front of Ethan Toter by about 0.4 of a second. Toter and Fitz starting to pull away from Freeberg and Ruggiero. They're side by side. That's the battle for third, Chris, as they come off of turn 4.
We are looking for 8 right now. It is Trent Ivy in that 8th and final transfer position. And he's got a pretty good advantage over Chase Winkles back there in the 9th spot. So right now he is currently safe into the show is Mr. Ivy. Fitz still leads. Toter in that 2nd spot. Freeberg, Ruggiero, Sorensen, and Cannon. And Folds ahead of Ivy as everybody just running the high side of the racetrack here down the back straightaway.
Yeah, high side of the racetrack is definitely dominant. I think we've burned the bottom up just a little bit. You see Ruggiero go low and slide up the racetrack. Almost collects Freeberg, manages to leave him a racing lane, but he slides right up in front of Baby Sorensen. That is Baby Barry, excuse me, and we're going to see Sorensen starts to feed Ruggiero a little bit of the nose. He wants to improve his starting spot in this A main, Chris.
Absolutely. Trying the further up you get in this B main, the better you'll start. Winner of this B main will start in the 13th position in tonight's feature, and then so on and so forth as Sorensen hit that wall coming out of 1 and 2. He drops back to 6 as Blake Cannon gets by him.
That turn 2 wall comes at you fast, Chris. It's like real life as an adult male. And you see Baby Hagen Sorensen get caught up there, folds the quarter panel in as he tries it again, but nearly gets it a second time. Kid's fearless in running that high side around here.
Got to be fearless here at Weedsport. You hang her out there high, and you're going to be if you hang it up too high, you're going to be in the wall just like he was. Right now, Ivy's still sitting in that 8th and final transfer spot. James Grace trying to catch up as well. But there is Ruggiero and Freeberg. Freeberg changed. Looks like he changed cars after heat races.
No, I think
he was running the red and yellow car.
Well, he was in that car last night. I think this is a new race wrap here for him this evening in the 171 machine. Out in front, though, it's all Trevor Fitz. Toter's closed the gap to less than 0.3 of a second, though, with 3 laps to go. He's all over Trevor Fitz's tail end. It's a Newton Cattle Farms race entry chasing D1RT. Really a David and Goliath kind of battle you're seeing here up front.
As you take a look here out of the front end of Ethan Toter's machine in that 2nd spot, taking a look at exactly the line that Fitz is running in front of him. Toter looks very slow and steady out of the turns. Final time down the back straightaway. Here into turn number 3 and 4, it's going to be Trevor Fitz winning this B main event. Second's going to go to Ethan Toter. Ruggiero into that 3rd spot. Cannon 5th. Now Freeberg got over the line. Cannon 5th. Sorensen. And then Folds and Trent Ivy is going to get that 8th and final transfer position into tonight's main event. Preliminaries are over. Feature action coming up here at the Warrior Logistics 100 on LSR TV as part of the Mimi's Makings in Motion as Speedweek. We'll be right back with feature action.
ETE Reman is the world's best remanufacturer of transmissions for import and domestic cars and trucks. Based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, our customers are repair shops, auto parts stores, dealerships, and distributors. And with 6 nationwide warehouses, we're where and when you need us. So when you're looking for a transmission that is like new, only better, instill confidence and install ETE Reman.
And welcome back to Weedsport here on LSR TV, the Warrior Logistics 100 here at Weedsport. Chris Nutt alongside Zach Newton and our special race analyst Wesley Outland. 10 seconds to go. Wesley, what you going to see here in this feature tonight?
Medlem, mayhem, carnage, calamity, crashing, bashing, smashing, you name it. I think it's going to be fun to decide who's going to be the $50 winner here at Weedsport Speedway. And watch turns number 1 and 2. Zach Newton, just like they're crashing off turn 4. That's only just, having fun. But that's the preliminary demolition derby. But when they drop the green flag for real, turns 1 and 2, I think, are going to be the hot spot, just like we saw in the preliminaries tonight.
Absolutely, Wesley. We get ready to line the field up. Your Walls Beer Company starting lineup here for the Warrior Logistics 100 live on LSR TV. Front row out of Drummondville, Quebec, Canada. It's the 12 machine on the pole. Alex Big Bucks Bergeron to his outside. Mount Airy, North Carolina driver in the double aught machine of Kendall Tucker.
Row number 2 on the inside. My pick for the race tonight, Blake the Money Man Majulis. That's right. I'm making him my pick. He's my horse every week. Jerry Flippo starts outside of him in the 4 spot.
Row number 3, the inside 52 of Petaluma, California's James Edens. Outside of him, best starting position we've seen out of the 157 machine. It's Broadhead, Kentucky's Drew Hopkins rolling off 6th.
Row 4 on the inside, it's going to be downtown. J.D. Brown, the 14 machine. He'll start 7th. Outside of him, it's going to be Richard Murtaugh Jr. And the number 33 machine, he's going to try to be a lethal weapon coming from 8th.
Very nice. Inside of row number 5 is Nick Cooper in the 35 machine. Outside of him, he's got a long way to go. Probably the worst starting spot he's had so far in Speedweek. It's the 33 of VLR's Evan C.
Row number 6 on the inside, it's Mama, Jennifer Hotz, and the number 11 machine. She'll start in that 11th position. Outside of him, the Weed Eater Man, the Lawnmower Man, it's Ryan Underwood in 46.
Row number 7 on the inside, it's D1RT's Trevor Fitz. Outside of him, Underwood's Newton Cattle Farms teammate, the 23 machine of Ethan Toder.
Row number 8 on the inside, John Ruggiero Jr. Outside of him, we're going to see Blake Cannon in that 44 machine. He'll start 16th.
Row number 9, the inside, is the 171 entry of Brandon Freeberg. Outside of him, it's Baby Hagen, Barry Sorensen in the 45.
Row number 10 on the inside, Tanner Folds, and the number 25 machine, or the 15 machine, excuse me. Outside of him, the little head knocker, Trent Ivey in 88.
Well, if you're taking Majulis, I'm going to take Bergeron. Starting on the pole, he looked very fast in his heat race. Definitely an underdog in Jerry Flippo. Wes, who do you want to doom to eternal failure this evening?
And the reason why you say that is every time I pick somebody, they crash. But you know what? I'm going to go with Kendall Tucker. We're going to change it tonight for big money. Kendall Tucker from Mount Airy, North Carolina. He's going to be the man to win.
Our condolences go out to Kendall Tucker's family and his crew for that pick because sorry, Kendall, you're screwed.
He's got this. We're going to reverse it tonight. We're going to reverse it. We're going to do a whole total 180 reversal.
Reversing the curse.
Charles says he picks the whole field to win.
Charles takes the field. So this is
my daddy always told me. I say, Daddy, who won the race? He'd say, son, the one that crossed the finish line first.
Absolutely.
It's a very dad answer. We get ready to stack the field up 4 wide here in just a moment. The 4 wide salute on the way here at Weedsport. Oh, I take that back. We just got word from race control. Some of the drivers are actually concerned they can't go 4 wide here. And that's a very It's a very fair concern. We saw a little bit of 3 wide racing, and I was sweating in my home office watching James Grace try to go 3 wide in a heat race.
I will say this, Zach. It is difficult. I have seen it done before, but it is difficult, guys, to get those cars 4 wide. I'm not saying that you can't do it. I'm just saying that, even in real life, they found it difficult to go 4 wide at Weedsport.
Yeah, it is not a super late model. Again, we talked about, the horsepower of a big block modified and a super late model are similar, but the footprints of the race cars are a lot different. A big block modified could probably sit comfortably on top of one of these late models and not overlap anywhere. So when you line those guys up, they've got a lot more racing room here than these big-bodied super late models have. So yeah, I can kind of understand the driver concern. I respect that, and I respect race control's decision to not try to make the drivers do something they're not comfortable with. These guys want to preserve their race vehicles. They know they've got 100 laps to go in this one. That's the century grind, as Wesley Outland calls it. That's going to be it's going to be tough enough as is.
And also, we got to reiterate, releasing the news here, whoever's in the 11th position at the 25-lap mark, the 50-lap mark, the 75-lap mark, and the 95-lap mark will receive some cash. How much money they get in Wesley Outland?
$25.
That's right. Just for being in the 11th position, courtesy of the fine folks from Warrior Logistics. So if you're sitting in that 11th spot, we're getting some scratch.
So nothing wrong with that at all. A little extra bonus for our drivers as we bunch the field up. We're going green this time by. It's Alex Bergeron and Kendall Tucker, your front row. They're going to bring them to green. You see them ride the high side. Bergeron on the loud pedal, and we are green in the Warrior Logistics 100 at Weedsport.
Into turn number 1 and 2, we'll find out whether or not we can get through this first and second turns here all unscathed. As we take a look down that back straight, it looks like everybody made it through except for Blake Cannon.
Blake Cannon, the lone victim in that one. He sits parked over there to bring out the caution. He's going to the tail end of the longest line. So yeah, we're turn 1 as promised, already claiming victims.
Take a look at our instant replay brought to you by Swag, E-Wraps, and Graphics. Here, take a look at exactly what happened to Blake Cannon. Oh, just got shot up by Ruggiero and got into Toter, and then just had some issues. Looks like he just spun it around to cause a caution there.
Yeah, Toter managed to hold on to it. Cannon might have brought that caution out because he stayed put over there. So he may go get a fresh race car and then pop back out. You see Barry Sorensen also getting his quick fix in. So, yeah, they're popping back to the pits to get their quick fix. They'll get back on the racetrack. They go to the tail end of the longest line, but it's a brand new race car.
See exactly what happens here. As it's like I said, turns 1 and 2, like you said as well, it may be the Bermuda Triangle of this entire night right now, as it's already claimed one car here with only one lap complete.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, caution laps are counting in this one, so you can see them tick off slowly under caution. We're up to lap 9 now. We'll get back underway here in just a moment. You'll see the field start to form back up here probably the next time by.
All right, once again, keeping track of who's in the 11th position every 25 laps. So looks like our counter is setting 105. So it looks like on lap 30, we'll figure out who's on there on lap 25. So it'll be on the counter, it'll be lap 30, it'll be lap 55, then lap 80, and then on 100, I believe. I was just doing some quick math in my head there.
Yeah, my question is it better to just hang in 11th to make an opportunity of $100 or to try to run for $50 to win in first?
Well, you know, Wes, the math being what it is.
That's right.
Honestly, it's I'd tell you that you can't go from 11th to 1st in 5 laps at Weedsport. There's not a snowball's chance in hell that somebody can pull that run off unless all 10 guys in front of him just exploded or the track opened up and swallowed them whole. Chris Nunn, but
royalties.
The $1 coming your way. The hanging out in 11th is definitely a viable strategy. We'll have to see if anybody pursues that line of thinking, or if they run for the front and the Speedweek's points.
All right, lining the cars back up once again here. I'm going to stop them here on the back straightaway, actually. Not sure exactly what's going on here. The pace truck pulling back up here. That's what they were waiting on.
Yeah, pace truck gets back up. Yeah, pace truck not in the usual hurry you see it in to get up through the field here.
Yeah, normally it wants to plow over everybody virtually.
Yeah, just
now they've actually they've slowed it down.
Just indiscriminately rockets through the field, and then now here at Weedsport, the thing barely moves. You can see Bergeron up in the fluff. He's looking for moisture, keeping the tires cool. The tires and all that fun stuff gonna matter here in this one. You can make some mistakes and easily maybe not burn the tires up because the tire wear model in these cars doesn't exist yet. But you can make some mistakes, get your tires too hot, and lose some grip as you get into the black slick. And Bergeron bunches the field up real bad as they get off to the races in this one, lap 12 of 100 complete.
Back through turns 1 and 2. Hopefully we can get through unscathed here on this restart. Bergeron, Majulis, Flippo, and Tucker on run 2, 3, and 4. And Ethan Toder's having some issues back there in turn 1 and 2. Back it away. Green flag is still out. Still underway.
Yeah, Toder gets back on the go pedal. We stay green out in front. Still Alex Bergeron. He's got about 0.6 of a second over Blake Majulis already. So that starts to open up. Kendall Tucker giving Jerry Flippo the what for. Tucker gets into the berm on the inside of the racetrack there through 3 and 4. That's a really low line, maybe almost as low as we've seen anybody except Blake Cannon go. And Cannon almost Spanky Spanglered himself off the barricade and rolled it over through 4.
Down the front straightaway, Bergeron, Majulis 1-2. Tucker now goes into that third spot, trying to get underneath Jerry Flippo. Flippo running the top of the racetrack. This track's starting to widen out now as it gets slicker. Down that D-shape back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Everybody running top, middle, bottom of the racetrack. You see Flippo ripping the lip. There you see Hopkins as well back there. Down the front stretch, everybody's still trying to jockey for position here.
Absolutely, they are. Kendall Tucker and Jerry Flippo still battling. Flippo got the spot back after Tucker pretty well had him cleared. So the top side is definitely able to keep pace with the bottom. You see James Eden's going to work the high side around Kendall Tucker. Tucker committed to the bottom through 1 and 2, and it may cost him a position or more.
Tucker ripping the, just trying to just put her around there on the tires there on the bottom of the racetrack. Eden's getting around him for the 4th spot. He falls back to 5th to Hopkins now. Going to try to get around Tucker. Tucker, man, he must have hit the wrong, it's either A, it's the wrong setup, B, he didn't realize that the bottom was going to be slower, and C, Wesley picked him.
Yeah, either any of those three, probably a little column A, little column B, a lot of column C. In this one, as you see, Drew Hopkins running the high side. Hopkins, normally we call him the catfish. He's normally right there down where Kendall Tucker is. So you got to wonder if maybe Tucker kind of missed the boat on where the racing line was going to be, but he slid up the racetrack. We're going to see if he can make that work in 3 and 4. Evan C. now hitching his wagon to Drew Hopkins as stars. They battle for position.
Damn. All right, coming up 20 laps in the books right now. Or sorry, working lap 20, I think that is 22.
It'll be lap 17.
It'll be lap 17, correct, because of the 5. Yeah, working lap 17. So to subtract 5 of what you see right there.
So working lap 17 in this one, you see Drew Hopkins, Kendall Tucker on the high side, Evan C. around the bottom, Richard Murtaugh back there battling for position. He's got J.D. Brown behind him. There's a good battle on the racetrack. Tucker gets into the wall just a little bit. That's going to maybe open the door for Hopkins. And now Tucker may have either disconnected or just parked it because he is going rapidly down the leaderboard.
Yeah, he's dropping backwards in a hurry as, man, he's back there in the 20th spot. 1 lap down now. He may have just, he might have just called it quits.
Every time, it's my fault. It's my fault. I can't get no luck, I swear.
So the Wesley Outland curse strikes again. Apologies to Kendall Tucker and family. And Wes, they've been friends of yours for a long time. How could you do that to people you know and love?
You know what? I love those guys dearly. Velvet Tucker and Karen and the Noel Tucker family back to my young days announcing for the Carolina Clash. And Kendall Tucker, talent. And I was going to ride or die with him. And unfortunately, another night of bad luck. I'm sorry. Oh, well.
I don't think anybody really blames you, Wes. You do your best. That's all we can ask for. Alex Bergeron still out in front as we near the first little cash prize giveaway here. Currently, Ryan Underwood is holding down that 11th spot.
Heck yeah, Zach Newton gets $25.
Well, now stop it. Actually, Ryan placed 3rd in the 100 lapper last night, and he made enough money.
Technically, he does get the money.
He made enough money back that he gets everything he wins from now on. So
hey.
So
wow.
He covered the margins. So this 25 is just Ryan. Like Ryan may ride in 11th. He's the type of person to be content to ride.
That's
in 11th.
what I was talking about. Remember?
I know. Lap 30. There it is. Ryan Underwood, your first $25 winner.
There we go. You see it right there in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. The Warrior Logistics $25 bonus winner, Ryan Underwood, in that 11th position. As we keep rolling on here at Weedsport, Bergeron out front, Majulis in that 2nd spot. Then 3 seconds back to Flippo, back behind Bergeron. Eden's in that 4th spot. Evan C. in 5th as we keep on rolling here at Weedsport.
Yeah, and you start to see cars. Ethan Toder, the first car a lap down. Freeburg not too far out in front of your leaders in this one. They're starting to work into lap traffic as we go on a long green flag run here. There you can see Bergeron just out of frame as we look at Freeburg's screen.
Freeberg ripping the top side of the racetrack, trying to not go a lap down here as we take a look underneath their left side, your leader's front window here as he rolls down the front straightaway. He's running a good line on the bottom of the racetrack, just tiptoeing on the bottom as we roll down the back straightaway, down that D-shaped oval. Like I said, it's Ponderosa time here on the frac straightaway.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of Ponderosa. I think this front straightaway is a lot longer than the pond, too. Ooh, Alex Bergeron nearly gets collected there as Freeberg and Folds tangle on the front straightaway.
Swag, E-Raps and Graphics, Sim Division Instant Replay coming up here. So we'll take a look at exactly what happened here as Alex Bergeron just about saw his hopes and dreams go up in smoke here. But, man, he got through that, and he got through that all perfectly.
Yeah, Bergeron elbows up on the wheel in this one. Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you right now on this broadcast that I have received confirmation that Ryan Underwood is going to try to finish every 25-lap block in 11th
I told you. What would be smarter to do it, though? I mean, seriously, it's $50 to win, and then if you run in the 425-lap segments, you get $25. That's $100.
Well, and the other thing to note is that Ryan had a finish that he found less than satisfactory at Knoxville. He's all but out of the points chase here for Speedweek because the margin for error in that points chase is so small. And we'll get you updated points in just a minute. So Ryan just trying to maximize his winnings. The battle for 11th now is going to get fantastic as he tries to protect that spot. As you see the 46 machine of Ryan Underwood, definitely going to be something to watch as this race rolls on.
Hey, Zach, with $100, he could buy a lot more of Weed Eater wire. Fall is around the corner. Got to get those last summer grass
Yeah, there
cuts.
you go. Ryan Underwood's spoiler definitely appropriate there. I don't get mad, I get paid. So.
And that could go towards the Weed Eater wire for the end of the summer.
Whole lot of string trimmer the kid's going to need for next year, and he's.
Oh my goodness! Somebody didn't like that. They just bumped him.
Yeah. Ruggiero Jr. Making a little contact with Underwood there under caution. Have to keep an eye on that. We bunched the field back up. Looks from here like the pace truck lights are out in this one.
Hey, Zach, from a faraway angle, that looks like it's something else, actually.
Well, he's only 14, Wes. He's probably not doing a lot of that.
Here we go. Back
Wow! He's just a baby.
3 wide with Flippo. C and Edens out of turn number 2 down that all-lay back straightaway. Back underway here at Weedsport as we keep this one G-rated, unlike last night. Down the front straightaway, it's still Bergeron, Majulis, and a good battle shaping up here, Zach, between C and Flippo.
Absolutely. Flippo trying to hold on to that spot. For third, Evan C. has moved through the field very effectively. He's looked very confident. He's been good every night of Speed Weeks. Won in Knoxville. Came in second at Lanier. He's definitely in contention for that championship, and he's giving Flippo all he wants for third. Ethan Toder again off the pace in the back of the field. Not sure what happened there. We stayed green, so we don't have a replay as we tick off lap 38, Chris.
Laps clicking down. Majulis still trying to find a way to catch up to Bergeron as Bergeron's led it the whole way so far. Just a half second separate first and second as we're taking a look back throughout the field there. Bergeron, Majulis, Flippo now getting that third spot back. They're trading back and forth, third and fourth. Eden's fifth, Murtaugh sixth, Cooper, Brown, Hopkins, Fitz, and Underwood back there in that 11th money spot there.
Murtaugh brushes the wall there in turn 2. I think that Blake Majulis better realign his priorities because staying with Alex Bergeron is a concern, but a bigger one had better be Evan C., who's on the way to the front. He's up 7 spots. The only car who's passed more drivers than him is Trent Ivey up in 11th. He's passed 9 so far, now 10 as he moves into the top 10.
Good run for Ivy as he now sits in that 10th position. Fitz now back there in 11th. As we take a look at that battle, there's Ivy, there's Fitz, there's Ruggiero and Underwood. They're all running double file back there down the back straightaway, working lap number 40 right now here in this 100-lap main event. The Warrior Logistics $150 to the winner. Coming up here just in about 20 minutes or so.
So we are 10 laps from another $25 payout. You see Ryan Underwood, who has declared his intention to run every 25 laps in 11th spot. He's got his hands full now with Fitz in the 28. Ruggiero Jr. is also back there battling with him. That may be more interesting right now than the race out front. Trent Ivy has punched his ticket to the top 10. He's on the way forward. Fitz in 12th, Ruggiero in 13th, Sorensen back there in 14th, and then Hans a little ways back there in 15th.
Everybody's still running there on the bottom of the racetrack. Up front, though, the gap between first and second and third. We're running nose to tail out of turn 4. Bergeron, Majulis, and Evan C. It's the pros. They know exactly how to make it happen. It's getting good up front. Take a look at that top 4. Bergeron, Majulis, C, and Edens. It's an all-star race here up front.
Absolutely it is. We've also just got a word from our production team, the interns down there, giving us some vital information. Trent Ivy was not able to move his iRacing rig back in the house, so he is in his hauler right now playing this. It's fantastic.
Somebody has to take a picture of this. If somebody's listening to us in the broadcast and they're close to Trent Ivy, they got to send us a picture of this.
Look, I'm telling you right now, Trent Ivy may not win this race, but he is cementing his status as an iRacing legend over the last 2 nights. That is fantastic. Ivy running in 10th. We get close. 4 laps to go now before we give away another $25. The battle for 11th going to shape up nicely. It's hard to take you away from the top 3 here, but we may have to do it in just a lap or two as Evan C. is all over Blake Majulis, and they're both trying to track down Alex Bergeron.
Just a few laps away once again from another money spot. When that thing says lap 55, we're going to pop up the dinger there, and who's in 11 is going to get that money spot right now. It's Ryan Underwood again. So he's going to have to hold off Trevor Fitz there in that 12th spot, and Ruggiero behind him. But things are heating up here for the second spot. Evan C. trying to find a way to get around Blake Majulis down the front straightaway as laps are clicking down. Lap number 54. Money time coming up.
All right, so here we go. You see Bergeron right around the bottom. Underwood inside of Trent Ivy's got to be careful, though. You don't want to pass him before the start-finish line if you're going to try to make the move to the front. He seems pretty content to ride along behind him. Go ahead and give Ryan Underwood another $25.
He's tied the winning purse so far. He is content. Probably hopefully making $100 here in this one. He's still sitting at 11th.
He could do it. He said under caution that he was content to just ride in 11th because that's where the money's at. And this is you see 2 fantastic storylines here side by side. Out in front though, Blake Majulis starting to work a little harder on Bergeron because Evan C. is giving Majulis the business.
Here they come out of turn number 1 and 2 down the dog leg, back straight away. Things starting to heat up here out front. 1, 2, and 3. You can throw a blanket over him. Next money lap, when you see lap 80 pop up on the screen, courtesy of World Logistics, another $25 going to go to somebody. But man, Zach, it's getting good up front.
Absolutely, it is. C starts to work to the inside of Majulis. These two have been battling for a championship all week. They've been 1 and 2 pretty much every night. Just switched the order from Knoxville to Lanier, and now Alex Bergeron, currently the really the odd man out. He hasn't had as much success as he would normally have, and Evan C has second from Majulis as he kind of pushes him, didn't make contact with him, but pushed him up out of the racing line. Gives second to Evan C.
Evan C. trying to work his way up now. Got around Majulis into that second spot now. He's got Bergeron, who's got lap traffic coming up. Looks like we have got Freeberg, I believe, right in front of him as they go down the front straightaway. Let's take a look out front of Alex Bergeron. Evan C., though, he has found something. I think his tires are starting to kick in now.
Yeah, Evan C. is fantastic. He is looking very fast. Has started in the 5th row. As I said during driver introductions, the worst starting spot he's had so far. And he has made it that irrelevant. I mean, he has looked like he's tied to a rocket.
Absolutely. Got to send out a hello to Patricia Payne, one of our loyal viewers here, checking out our broadcast tonight as Evan C. absolutely hounding the back end of Bergeron. All over him like ants on a picnic right now out of turn number 3 and 4. And there, Blake Majulis has thrown himself back into the mix.
Yeah, Majulis is not somebody you can just count out because you pass him for second. As you see Murtaugh, they're under caution here. Murtaugh gets into the wall in turns 1 and 2. That's going to slow things down. We're going to bunch the field back up. Things are going to get a little interesting, Chris.
Absolutely. Things starting to get very, very good up front. Unfortunately, the caution flag just has to ruin the fun here. Going to bring our analyst, Wesley Outland, in. Wesley, things are getting good up front. No, we're not.
Yeah, Wesley went to get a cheeseburger. He'll be back in a few minutes.
All right. So what Wesley was going to say is, this stuff is getting good up front, I'm telling you.
That's a good Wesley Outland impression. Kind of hope he didn't hear it, though. He's going to come back and be cranky. Or he's going to come back and be giggly. You never know with that guy.
Dude, as soon as he comes back, I'm doing the impression.
Do it. I'm fine with that.
Bet.
He said bet.
Everybody into the chat room. Anybody want me to do the impression? Say yes.
I can't do it. I don't have the register. Like I can't get my voice into that inimitable Wesley Outland timbre. Just doesn't. This milky smooth baritone only goes one direction.
I think he went to the concession stand in Pennsylvania somewhere.
Yeah, he might be down at Path Valley somewhere getting a cheeseburger. I can't say for sure. Murtaugh going to get a wave around, and this one is going to be it's going to get a little interesting here, I think.
Chase Hardy said Zach should do the impression.
Chase, I can't do the impression, but I can't do it.
Chase Hardy should be racing in this feature.
Chase Hardy should be racing in every feature race. Chase Hardy should automatically start on the pole. He is the best kid in the world.
Well, hopefully Wesley Outland will find his way back from the concession stand here at some point this evening.
We do hope so. Not really sure what happened with Wes. Maybe all of North Carolina lost internet. That's the problem.
Stopping him here on the back straightaway again to let the pace truck run through the field one more time.
We're going to line them back up here. Again, your storylines to watch. Three of the best in the world, Evan C., Blake Majulis, and Alex Bergeron, currently your top three battling for that $50 payday. Meanwhile, Ryan Underwood, running 11th, has already secured a $50 payday and looks to take home, he's got an opportunity to win 50 more.
If he stays in 11th spot the whole way, he's going to win double what the feature winner makes, and that'll make him a happy camper. That it's better than allowance money.
Absolutely, definitely going to put a smile on that kid's face to walk home with more money than a win for running at 11th for 100 laps. So he might be onto something. We'll have to.
Wesley Outland is back.
I am back. I'm sorry. I stepped away to get me a nice ginger ale, if you will. You guys had adult beverages last night. So I had to go to the Weedsport virtual concession stand and grab me a ginger ale.
Can't believe
what a race we got.
Well, Wesley, I had to do your part for you. I even did it in your voice.
I completely didn't hear you. So, hey, what voice are you talking about? What did you have to do?
I said, Wesley, I don't know what kind of race have you saw so far. It has been absolutely fantastic.
Well, I give you an F on that commentary.
Big F for failure.
Hey,
Alex
Bergeron, in the chat for
what
Chris Dunn's impression.
What I've seen, guys, Bergeron's done a phenomenal job. Here comes C. He don't want to be second again like he was last night. He wants a shot at the money. And Blake Majulis, money bags out of Asheville, New York. He's closing in, trying to pocket up some more cash from the World of Thunder. And we got trouble, guys. No caution.
Yeah, stays green. Folds gets back on the racing service, keeps it tidy. We are back still under green. We are closing. We're 9 laps from another $25 to 11th place. And guess who's currently sitting in 11th, Chris?
Ryan Underwood.
Ryan Underwood.
He got the last one, but he's got another youngster, Sorensen, right there, taking that spot. Nope, Ivy right there. He's got to keep those guys behind him, and he's if he passes Ivy, he's in 10th. I think he's not trying to pass him on purpose.
Yeah, Ryan Underwood declared that he was going to ride in 11th and keep winning money. I dropped a stonks meme in the group chat. That's really Underwood playing the financial game, but he's currently in a battle. This is going to be the race to watch right now. As you see Evan C. work to the inside of Tanner Folds. He goes a lap down. Bergeron still in the lead, but C is all over him.
Absolutely. These top 3 cars are running nose to tail, and we'll start single file. Underwood's back. Oh, we got a caution. Underwood's involved, and so is Fitz.
Oh, no. Well, that could throw a wrench in Underwood's plan. He's already tied the race winner for winnings tonight. We're not even done yet. But, yeah, he and Fitz are going to go to the tail end. Fitz all over him. Race control might not be happy about that.
Man, I tell you what. Oh, 3 wide there, trying to go into 1. That just does not work.
Yeah, and Fitz just drove right into Underwood. Underwood, I think it may have been trying to check up to not go 3 wide through turn 1, which is a terrible idea, Chris. And now with 7 laps to go, well, we may give this $25 out under caution. Looks like we've got 3 to go before we give away another $25.
All right, 3 to go, like you said. Then another 25. Who's currently sitting in that 11th spot right now? We'll find out when we go back to Green Flag Racing, because you know that Trent Ivy currently sits in that 11th position at the moment. So you look at all those quarter panels bent up.
Yeah, a lot of guys on the wall in this one. Kind of maybe not what we expected to see here. Thought we'd see guys run the bottom, but guys are ripping the lip here at Weedsport tonight. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
I got to say, guys, this actually puts the comment that a man said last night in the chat box about Weedsport to shame, because literally this race has been completely different. He said it was going to be boring catfishing on the bottom, no excitement. This has been a total opposite. What a show these guys put on tonight.
Yeah, we've seen a great show. Ivy gets sent to the tail end of the longest line. So
wow.
This is...
All right, going to go green. We'll find out who gets that another $25 here in just a couple of laps here. Right now, it's Jennifer Hans, now Blake Cannon. Into that 11th spot is Bergeron, C. and Majulis. 1, 2, and 3 out of turn 1 and 2. Down the front straightaway they go. Laps are clicking down in this one. We're going to find out here.
I don't know how he did it, but Ryan Underwood is already back in 12th.
Yep.
Blake Cannon gets the $25 from Warrior Logistics. So Blake Cannon gets the money.
So Blake Cannon knocks off Ryan Underwood and joins the win column. Underwood back there now battling for 12th with Tanner Folds. Actually, Cannon still riding at 11th. We'll have to see if that changes again. But some great racing all over this racetrack. Yeah, I believe it was Dustin Benton in the chat that said Weedsport wouldn't be any good. And I hate to say it, bud, but you were dead wrong. This race has been fantastic. Out front, we've seen some great battling between Majulis and C for that second spot. We're going to have to see if Alex Bergeron can hold these guys off. If Evan C gets a good look, he's been very fast all night, Chris.
Top 3 running nose to tail out of turn 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Bergeron, I mean, he's made his car as wide as it can get. I don't know if you got the chance to listen to the interviews last night with Mike McKinney and Nick Hoffman. Nick Hoffman said Mike McKinney was windshield wiper driving, kind of trying to block and all that good stuff. But Bergeron, he's doing a good job of it right now.
Yeah, Bergeron's doing a great job of keeping that car as wide as possible. Weedsport, not a super wide racing surface anyway, so definitely hard to pass just to begin with. But Bergeron doing a good job of holding those guys up. You see C is right there. He's sideways. He's around. He collects Majulis, and we've got a yellow.
Wow, absolutely a crazy turn of events here as we take a look at our swag, E-Wraps, and Graphics Sim Division Instant Replay. And we'll take a look at what happened here between the top 3 cars here. Bergeron, C, and Majulis as they go down the front straightaway here. Going to take a look at exactly what happened.
Well, C got in there, and Bergeron just pulls down on him.
He shut the door right on him.
Yeah, Bergeron drove across the front of Evan C there, and with 20 to go in this one, Evan C is probably fuming with Alex Bergeron right now.
Well, absolutely, and I tell you who else is fuming right now with Blake Majulis, because he got caught up and he may have some damage on that machine. So when you see 5 to go, that'll be the next time. We'll get a $75 or $25 winner. So when you see that, click down to 5 to go, $25 to the 11th place car, courtesy of Warrior Logistics.
So 14 laps until we hand out another $25. Right now, it's Ryan Underwood is flirting around that spot once again. He and Blake Cannon battling for 11th. Under green, we'll have to wait until we get back to race speed to see who is going to take that money home. Underwood's already got $50. Cannon won the last 25. Barry Sorensen's back there. Trevor Fitz is back there. All these guys looking for a little money, and I don't think they're going to get to the front. So
back underway here, 17 laps remaining. It is Alex Bergeron out front, Blake Majulis in that second position, and now it is Cooper in that third spot now. Good run for the driver, number 35, Nick Cooper, in that third spot now as they got a battle for fourth, raging on behind him. J.D. Brown, Evan Seas felt himself back up there as well.
Yeah, Evan C. already back in the action here, and this one just shows you how fast he is. But with 16 laps to go, he's got a bunch of guys to work around. It's going to be tough to see if he can get back to the front. Out front, though, still Alex Bergeron. He's been there for all 100 laps. The battle of now Drew Hopkins of Broadhead, Kentucky, has moved into that 11th spot. Fitz is up to 12th after passing Underwood. Definitely the racing, some of the most interesting racing in the pack. They're 3 wide off of turn 4. Underwood wants that money bad.
And we're caution out again right now. Looks like it is the 11. Was it the 11?
Believe it is.
Take a look at our E-Swag, E-Wraps, and Graphics replay here. As we'll take a look here down the front straightaway. Trent Ivey, Jennifer Hantz. Hantz slides up. There you see Murtaugh in the battle as well. As they go down the back straightaway. And, Hantz just hit the wall there coming out of turn number 3 and 4.
Second time this Speedweek an inside wall has caused problem for Jennifer Hahn. She was leading in a qualifying feature at Lanier on Sunday night until she collected the pit wall there on the inside of the speedway, and that brought her night to a very quick end in terms of being competitive in that race. And here she collects the inside wall once again, Chris.
Unfortunately, bad break for her. She'll have to go to the tail of the field. Man, bad break. She's been doing good all speed weeks long. She's been she's one of the more improved drivers we've seen over the past few months.
Absolutely, definitely showing some great signs of improvement. Again, was leading a qualifying race and out in front of Blake Majulis and Evan C. for a number of laps before that one small mistake cost her. And at this level of racing, Chris, those small mistakes are, I mean, that's where you win and lose races.
All right, I'm going to reset here once again. 12 to go now. In this one, Alex Bergeron trying to win $50 to tie Ryan Underwood's collection for the night. Here we go out of turn 4. Down the butt straightaway. We are back underway into turn number 1 and 2.
Underwood printing money back there in 11th. Alex Bergeron out in front trying to print some of his own. Bergeron will get a big plastic check, though, if he parks this one in victory lane, but he's still got a few laps to go before, as Brett Wheeler says, we're all done and dusted. It's Bergeron out front. Evan C. battling back. He is on the outside of the racetrack there, I believe, in the 5th spot. Yes, he's back in the top 5, and that's not what you want to see if you're Majulis, Cooper, Brown, or Bergeron, because C is a man possessed right now, Chris Nunn.
Evan C. driving like his hair is on fire right now, trying to work up front. He's got J.D. Brown in front of him. And look at that gaggle behind him. That's not going to work. 4 wide into 1 and 2. Yeah, not quite. Underwood now getting into that 8th spot, working himself in. As we got 9 to go, currently the 11th spot right now, the money spot, Jerry Flippo.
Jerry Flippo out of Bakersfield, California, currently holding down that $25 spot. Underwood, though, is either trying to get a couple spots out in front. He's going to let some guys by with a couple laps to go, or he's trying to race his way to the win. He has been good all night. I mean, to stay in 11th, there's definitely been, I know part of race control said he was sandbagging. It was BJ Duvall trying to hold on to that money, and now suddenly Underwood charging for a top 5.
He is making his way up towards the front, working the middle of the racetrack. Currently sitting in that 7th position. And looks like Eden's right there in front of him. Running low to the high groove. Going to be coming down to 5 to go this time by. Who's going to be in that 11th spot? It's Drew Hopkins right now. He's currently sitting in that money spot as we roll down the front straightaway. We'll see if he crosses the line in 11th. He's got Flippo right behind him. Drew Hopkins getting $25 courtesy of Warrior Logistics.
So Drew Hopkins, your $25 winner. Ryan Underwood has already taken home a feature race worth of money for being in 11th on lap 25 and lap 50, and now he's worked his way into 6th around James Edens, and he starts working on VLR teammate Evan C.
Taking a look here as Alex Bergeron continues to lead. Blake Majulis is right there. Did Majulis save it for the end? We're going to find out here down the front straightaway. We got a lap car right there in front of him. Murtaugh slides up the racetrack, gets out of the way as the top two starting to pull away. A second goes back to Cooper. We're going to have a shootout here for the win.
Absolutely, we are, Chris Nunn. You see Bergeron at the bottom. Majulis going to run a little bit higher up the racetrack. Bergeron out in front, making that car real wide. Majulis is going to have to rip the lip, which is out of character for him unless Bergeron makes a mistake and opens the door to the inside, which I thought he might have.
A little bit of contact.
Uh-oh. I think we could see some receipts for that one. There you see Bergeron goes high.
Nick Cooper may end up winning this race. Final lap coming up here down the back straightaway. Majulis slides up in front of Bergeron. Bergeron going to try to slide it in deep out of turn number 3 and 4. Drag race at the line. It's going to be Blake Majulis picking up $50 tonight here at Weedsport.
Wow.
What a finish. You may see some bad blood play out over the next 2 nights between those two. Majulis, and if we can get a replay, that would be fantastic. Cody in the truck, if we can go back to that last couple laps and watch the end of this one over again. It's Blake Majulis battling with Alex Bergeron here, and Bergeron, I think definitely may have made a little contact with him, but they raced clean down the line. I think Bergeron got into the berm there on the inside, but there were some extracurriculars after they crossed the start-finish line, to be sure.
What an insane finish here tonight here at Weedsport. We're going to go into our final results here as soon as everything gets calculated and figured up here, as we'll pull your results up here onto the screen. What an absolute crazy finish. Blake Majulis picking up the win. Alex Bergeron second. Nick Cooper into that third spot. J.D. Brown fourth. Evan C. fifth. Ryan Underwood sixth. John Ruggiero in that seventh spot. James Edens eighth. Blake Cannon ninth. And Jerry Flippo rounds out the top 10.
We go to 11th, it's Drew Hopkins. He takes home that last $25 prize. Trevor Fitz in D1RT's 28, finishes 12th. Barry Sorensen, Richard Murtaugh, and Brandon Freeberg round out your top 15. Trent Ivy, Jennifer Hans, Tanner Folds, Ethan Toder, and Kendall Tucker, the rest of the field.
All right, with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here live from the Warrior Logistics 100 here on LSR TV. We'll be right back in a moment.
Welcome back to LSR TV with coverage of the Minis Makings in Motion World of Thunder. The Warrior Logistics Nationals is in the books here at the Weedsport Speedway. We're ready to grab an interview with our top 3 drivers on the Glenwood servers. Post-race wrap-up, and this will be quick as we have coverage coming up next on LSR TV of the Outlaw Super Late Model Series presented by Swag. Right now, joining us is the third-place finisher, Nick Cooper. Nick, some crazy racing. The last lap had any and everything. What's your take of what down here at Weedsport?
It's a technical track. I knew coming down to it there was going to be some, bumping and banging a little bit because, it is a Speedweek race, so it's a World of Thunder. Everything's on the line.
Definitely everything is on the line, and you definitely did everything you could hold off and get this this third place podium. Were you thinking Majulis and Bergeron were going to wreck each other the way the intensity was those final 5 laps?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's all or nothing in the World of Thunder, and again, with it being Speed Weeks, everything's on the line, and you just got to go as hard as you can.
Wow, what an absolute crazy finish there. That is Nick Cooper. Nick, who you want to give thanks to?
I got to thank my team, D1RT. Blake's obviously my teammate, so congratulations to him, and good race, Bergeron, and everybody that was a part of this.
All right, that is Nick Cooper coming home in the third spot. Now going to talk to our second place finisher, Alex Bergeron. If we can pull him or unmute him real fast here. Alex Bergeron, man, obviously you got to be disappointed. Led the whole way, ended up coming up in the second spot. Take us to your emotions.
It was a good race overall. Had fun for sure. Me and Blake had the tough run there in the end, but I'll take a second place. Just a bit rough, but it's part of the deal. So just sad that we led all race, but it's part of racing, and I feel like our setup was missing a little bit there at the end. I'd say the last quarter of the race we were really off base, and it was just a matter of laps before I was going to get past. I was trying my best to keep up, and Blake was just a bit faster there, and he had the momentum there and got the lead. So.
All right, so second place finish, nothing to sneeze at there. It's a very good run for you. Weedsport's a very tough track to tame. We saw a little bit of issues there in terms of 1 and 2 early on. How did you like the way the track raced tonight?
I really liked it. The line changed a lot, and you can move around quite a few times, and trying to find your groove and make it work. I was able to run the bottom pretty good, and then it moved to the middle, and I had to run the middle, and it was tough for sure. But this track is awesome to race on. It's a brand new track on iRacing, and I feel like this is one of the best racetracks so far. So I think they did a pretty good job, and we should get used to it. Went for fast time and time trial, won the heat race, and led the most of the race. So I think we're on a good way here. I think we found something.
Here's your chance to give everybody thanks. Who helps make it possible for you?
Well, everybody at Team ABR Esports, Rebecca and Jason, everyone that supports us, all the fans out there for tuning in for Speed Weeks, all of our partners, CSI Shocks, Bill Cap, BK Designs, Marring Farm Equipments, and like I said, everybody else, you guys for broadcasting, Wolf Thunder, iRacing League for putting this up with the Speed Week here. It's pretty fun to be here, and I got to thank my dad as well for watching, and so see you guys next time, I guess.
All right, Alex Bergeron, tonight's runner-up. Now going to move into tonight's winner, the money man, Blake Majulis. My pick to win again tonight. I'm telling you what, man, you're making me look like a genius, Blake.
I'm glad I'm living up to your expectations.
Oh, man, tell you what, that move you had to make it, or else, you're going to sit back there in second. $50 is $50, man. I'm telling you, even though you won $1,000 last night, $50 will buy some food.
I wasn't, $50. I mean, it is what it is. I wasn't really too worried about that. I definitely wanted the points. Any points I can get or salvage here is everything. I mean, kind of looking at the big picture here, the championship at the end of the week is kind of a big thing. And, I knew I had a little bit of a gap there at the end, and I know I was going to have to do something, just glad Alex is pretty cool about it. I expect the same thing back. We've always had some good hard racing. I mean, we go way back. So, I'd expect the same from him, especially if he was faster than me. So, good job to him. He led the whole race. So I'm glad he's not, but we'll see about it or nothing. He takes hard racing. So I expect the same thing from him.
I tell you what, we had an incident there at the late part of the race where Alex and Evan got together, and Evan got sideways in front of you. What was going through your mind then? You were like, oh crap, here we go? Or
yeah, I think me and Evan were just a little bit better than Alex. I don't think there's anything more to it. Alex said in his interview, I think we were just a little bit better there at the end, and Evan tried to make a move, and I don't really know what happened, but he got in the wall, and I ended up smacking him head on. So got some pretty good damage here at the end, but win's a win.
All right, we got to give a lot of thanks to everybody that helps make it possible for you one more time here.
Yeah, thanks to you, all you guys in the broadcast. It's fun to go back and watch these. D1RT Racing, we've really put our heads together here, found some more speed tonight, so that's good. Sim Seats, Matt Logan at MO Performance for being on the box tonight. Got to thank him. Design 75, Jeremy Ray, Down Under Graphics, Howard Weaver for the paint tonight. My girlfriend Tia for everything she does, and everybody that watched. Thank you.
All right, that is tonight's winner here at the Warrior Logistics 100, Blake Majulis. Wesley Outland, what a finish. All right, Wesley Allen is not here at the moment. So my final thoughts. Oh, there he is. There is Wesley. We can't hear you.
One for the ages. You need to come back to the other broadcast feed, buddy. When it is all said and done, what a great job by the man of Blake Majulis. He picks up another big win. He's pocketed almost $2,000 if that, or $1,300 here in the last couple of days. So a phenomenal job. Weedsport, Chris Nunn did not disappoint. I'm on the way to Kentucky tomorrow morning. Me and Zach will be ready for Volusia virtually for round 5 of Speed Week tomorrow night. Always fun working with Charles Wooten as well. And stick around. The Body Balance by Rhonda, 125 from Richmond for the Swag Outlaw Super Late Model Series is coming up next after a short break.
Want to give a special thank you to Warrior Logistics, tonight's sponsor for the Warrior Logistics 100. Also, big special thank you to Meet Me's Makings in Motion, our title sponsor for Speed Weeks, Haas Performance, Mike's Crazy Paints, KRM Digital Marketing, Swag E-Wraps and Graphics, Folds Graphics, DirtFan.com, Envision Custom Graphics, the Dirt Clash Super Street Series, Grace Productions, LMP Kitchen and Bath Designs, Richard Rocket Setups, Scalf Race Wraps, Warrior Logistics, Lab Pedal Productions. Also, big thank you going out to our fine folks at LSR TV for having us on all week long. For Cody Wooten in the production booth, Wesley Outland, Zach Newton, who has hit the bed already. He's getting rested up for tomorrow night. My name's Chris Nunn. We will see you tomorrow from Volusia for our next round of Speed Weeks. Good night, everybody.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of LSR TV and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of 52 Media LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. LSR TV would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.